What's going on, Fisher people? This is Ryan here from Broken Water Outfitters. Today we're going to show you how to tie our March Brown Nymph pattern. We've had a lot of success with the pattern over the past couple years. It's not real complex to tie, easy pattern. You can knock a bunch of them out, put a bunch of them in your box. It does use lively legs on it. Check your local fly shops for that material. If they don't have it, you can't get it online from Lively Legs. So here's the video. Hope you guys enjoy it. Hope you have some success with this pattern just like we've had.
All right, to start out, we got a size 12 hook with a 3.5 millimeter slotted tungsten bead on there. And I'm gonna add some 0.015 lead-free wire. 6 to 8 wraps. It's gonna be a little slippery getting it started on the hook. Once you break off your tag end, push that up into the bead. It'll help set that bead. We'll start your thread just behind that weight. Build up a little dam. Snip the tag of your thread off, or break. Cover up those lead wraps a little bit. This helps smooth out the body and build that transition. I'm going to take some Coke de Leon tailing fibers. Pull about 4 or 5 of them free from the stem. That's going to create our tail. So get those in your, with the tips aligned, get those in your hand, measure about a hook length for your tail. I like to tie these in right where that weight transition starts, and then I wrap backwards to about where the barb would be on the hook. Then I wrap back up, and then I do something a little bit different. I will take one wrap underneath that stands those up and spreads them out a little bit. And I wrap back up. Then snip your butt ends off. Then we'll go ahead and cover that up with our thread. Now we're going to tie in the rib. We're using amber brassy sized wire here. I tie that in on the near side. Wrap all the way back to the tail. Then I'll smooth everything out with my thread here. Now we have a nice smooth landing area for my lively legs. You'll notice I spun my bobbin. That'll tighten up that thread. Make it a little bit stronger when I go to tie these legs in. And it kind of slims the profile. So take one wrap around that front tab and then slide back in between the segments. We're only going to be using 2 of the 3 sets of legs on this. You'll notice I'm only wrapping in between the segments to start out. Pull that back segment tight, clip it off, and then do the same thing with the tab on the front. Now I'll go and make cross wraps in between the legs over the top. That gets everything nice and secure. Now we can dub our body. I'm going to be using Hairline March Brown dubbing. I've noticed as I bought a couple packs of this over the years that it can vary almost a full shade package to package. So dub on about 1.5 inches. Tight little dubbing noodle. Doesn't have to be super tight. About 1.5 inches, 1.75 inches. Start making your wraps at the base and work your way up. When you get up to the lively legs, you're gonna take a cross over and then back. Then you want to finish just in front of that last set of legs. Now make some open spiral wraps with your wire coming up to segment the body. Now this is where it got a little tricky here. My wire didn't go where I wanted it to. So I try to finish by wrapping underneath but in front of that set of legs. Then I take one wrap over the wire, and then I'll wrap my thread around the wire twice, and I'll make a wrap, and that tightens everything up very nicely. You'll notice I helicopter my wire off here. That rib never moves. Everything's nice and tight. So now I'm gonna clean that up a little bit. I'm gonna work my thread back behind that set of legs and then end in the front here. So now I'm going to tie in some thin skin. This is the modeled version for my wing case. So this stuff can be a little slippery to work with. Don't worry that your hook's in the way. Once you get it started in that thorax, you can straighten it out with a little bit of pressure. It's just getting that front part tied down and secured. And then you can start working with it. And we want that wing case to start behind the legs, so you'll see I'm working my thread back. Now it should be good and secured. You can see it's actually on there straight and the hook's just pushing it out of the wire. Now we're going to take some more of that same dubbing, form another dubbing noodle. We'll wrap behind the legs, come up in front of them. And I didn't quite put enough dubbing on here, so to add a little bit more. You're going to wrap around that front set of legs also, so that everything's nice and secured and you don't have any gaps around the legs. Now pull your thin skin forward. The way I like to tie this on, or to finish this, is you get like 2 loose wraps around that. And then I'll pull it tight and then secure it. It's pretty easy to work with. You'll see once I get that on there and then I pull it. It's not quite tight. Once I get that on there and pull it, you'll see it kind of changes its shape a little. Put a couple wraps in front and then back over it and then come in and cut it off. Make sure you get that little tab that's left secured. I like to do a 2-part whip finish. Do 2 to 3 wraps. Set the knot, and I'll come in and I'll add another whip finish. I just find that to be a little bit more durable. Snip your thread off. Admire your work. Then add a couple drops of head cement. Won't take long to dry and you'll be able to fish this thing and enjoy it. Hope you liked the pattern. Hope it wasn't too difficult for you to tie. It's a pretty simple one. Get out there, fish it, and enjoy the day.